In this video, I wanted to share with you some of the virtues and values of walking barefoot. Now, it just so happens that humans are the only animals, and really the only beings, that wear shoes. Any clothes really, but shoes included. And if you think about many of the problems we're facing today, a lot of them have to do with our separation from nature. Now, if you look at what shoes are, they're a layer between you and nature, right? It's a layer between the bottom of your feet and the ground. And if you will, you could think of that as a manifestation of this issue of separation from nature. And so to reverse that, one way to start would be to literally remove that separating force, which would be your shoes. So one thing to consider is that you should never do anything just because someone says to, or just because some study says it's good, or this or that says anything. You should do it because it's enjoyable. And personally, I find walking outside far more enjoyable when I'm barefoot for several reasons. One is that there's a whole new layer of experience. There's this whole tactile feel of your feet touching the ground, stepping on each dimple in the ground and feeling the differences. And that's really important for cultivating your natural sense and just your natural experience of life. When you walk in this natural context, there are a lot of benefits. One of which is that your foot is actually articulating. That means it's actually bending. Like, your hand isn't in a cast all day, like most people's feet are, just stuck. But it's actually, your fingers actually move around. And in the same way, your feet are meant to move around and adjust to the differences in the terrain. And this is really important for both for basic health and for peak level performance and athleticism, because all of those subtle muscles and tissues in the foot need to be able to work together to maximize the force and power generated by that bodily system. So by walking barefoot, you're stimulating and thus growing each of the different aspects that most people typically aren't using. One thing that happens when you walk barefoot is that you start to really enjoy the journey more rather than just looking for the destination. Part of that is because you need to slow down to sort of consider things, but I do think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you're interacting with the world. I think one of the hardest things for people to deal with when they try walking barefoot is terrain such as this, that's really rocky and bumpy and sort of can be painful if you're not used to it. And the first thing I would say is that if you're starting out, start somewhere easier that's just like soft grass, like what you see out there, where it's all just nice and soft and smooth. But even this is actually fun for me because I've been doing it for a while, and what happens is that your foot starts to strengthen in certain ways that you're not used to when you wear shoes all the time, and your foot's actually able to adjust. I don't know if you can see, but see, there's this rock, and the different muscles of the foot are able to adjust and support from different spots so that you don't have to put your weight directly on the point of the rock. Walking barefoot is a good way to renaturalize your body and to help improve health by improving your posture, which is based on your feet, because your feet are at the bottom of your body, which is of course going to be the foundation. And it will also help improve peak performance by allowing you to use as much of your body as possible. So I hope this video acted as some encouragement for actually going and getting out and walking around with your feet naked on the ground. If you'd like to know more, head on over to SphereBodySystem.com, and hope you subscribe and have a great day. Bye.